Our inward power, when it obeys nature, reacts to events by accommodating itself to what it faces, to what is possible. It needs no specific material. It pursues its own aims as circumstances allow. It turns obstacles into fuel. Marcus Aurelius, welcome to Flourish. I'm Diane, Planidin, and you're in the right place if you're ready to create an inspired life. And we do so by working on our own personal development so we can be strong role models for those we love and mentor. We are continuing our journey for January in the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, which was written a long, long time ago. But you know what? It still applies today. So today I am actually on his book 4, and I'm going to give you one passage that is really quite spectacular. And I cannot believe, as much as things change, they still remain the same. So here we go. People try to get away from it all, to the country, to the beach, to the mountains. You always wish that you could too, which is idiotic. You can get away from it anytime you like by going within. Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul, especially if you have other things to rely on. An instant's recollection, and there it is, complete tranquility. And by tranquility, I mean a kind of harmony. So keep getting away from it all, like that. Renew yourself, but keep it brief and basic. A quick visit should be enough to ward off all fill in the blank and send you back ready to face what awaits you. What is there to complain about? People's misbehavior? But take into consideration the rationale beings exist for one another, that doing what's right sometimes requires patience, that no one does the wrong thing deliberately, and the number of people who have feuded and envied and hated and fought and died and been buried. And keep your mouth shut. I like this one, especially because it's so direct and it's so obvious. Sometimes we have to be reminded of these things. I know I have to tell myself every now and then, keep your mouth shut. I mean, it's so simple and yet true. He goes on to say, or are you complaining about the things the world assigns you? But consider the two options, providence or atoms, and all the arguments for seeing the world as a city. Or is it your body? Keep in mind that when the mind detaches itself and realizes its own nature, it no longer has anything to do with ordinary life, the rough and the smooth, either one. And remember all you've been taught and accepted about pain and pleasure. Or is it your reputation that's bothering you? But look how soon we're all forgotten. The abyss of endless time that swallows it all, the emptiness of all those applauding hands, the people who praise us, how capricious they are, how arbitrary, and the tiny region in which it all takes place. The whole earth, a point in space, and most of it uninhabited. How many people there will be to admire you and who they are. Yes, we do live in a tiny space if you consider the entire universe, right? Hear how he concludes. So keep this refuge in mind, the backroads of yourself. Above all, no strain and no stress. Be straightforward. Look at things like a human being, like a citizen, like a mortal. And among the things you turn to, these two. One, that things have no hold on the soul. They stand there unmoving outside. Disturbance only comes from within, from our own perceptions. And two, that everything you see will soon alter and cease to exist. Think of how many changes you've already seen. The world is nothing but change. Our life is only perception. And your own perception is your own reality. And that's where things get a little bit complicated. And this is why I love reading these meditations from Marcus Aurelius, because he keeps it straight and to the point. We're all leaving here the same way, aren't we? So keep in the back of your mind that you can control your mind. You can control your thoughts. You can control your soul. And you have a choice. You get to choose what you consume, both mentally and physically. And you get a choice on what you're going to pursue. So no more festering. No more thinking about the past. You can't control the past. It's done. Been there, done that. Let's all move forward this year. Let's move forward and create the world that we love and be who we want to be. And remember, he said it takes patience. Doesn't happen overnight. Have some patience, a few little baby steps, a little bit here and there, moving forward, right? The world is nothing but change. And if you embrace that change and you make good choices, they don't all have to be perfect. Sometimes they just happen for a reason. You will live a more inspired life. Well, if you like the show, share it with somebody you know. And hey, I would love to hear some comments, maybe a thumbs up. We'll see you next week.